Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's the Natch, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, good people. How you doing, guys? We made it. It's Friday. We did it. Well done, guys. You only have to get through today, and you can enjoy 2 days of freedom, thanks to our capitalist overlords. How are you doing? How are you doing, Natch?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a week, man. It's been a week. Not a bad week, but, a week. A long one. A big good morning to Pedro from Instagram joining us live today. The Bridge, Mr. Cruzando, and more. Guys, if you want to be as cool as those people, it's simply a matter of going to an internet browser and typing twitch.tv/professional bohemian. That's Bohemio Profesional, pero en inglés. If you do that on Instagram, you will find my Instagram account where I share with you every day the unpopular opinions for you to get a vote in early, and we have a juicy one for today, but more on that in a second. Let's see what's coming up in the show. The elves have been busy, the poor enslaved elves. In today's 100 Humans, I asked people, well, let's be honest, this was yesterday's 100 Humans. This morning I didn't ask any questions. It was a very quiet metro ride, Natch, very quiet. So, yesterday I asked them, why might you have to stop or stop the car during a long car ride? Reasons why you might have to stop during a long car ride. In Complete the News, we're going to find out what robots said they won't do. Yeah, we've got kind of a robotics show today. We've got quite a bit of robot news coming up. And then we'll also look at Ted Cruz and his new proposed law, if we have time. And then, obviously, all that fun, my friends, is in the second half of the show. In the first half, we have a juicy, unpopular opinion, which is time zones. Zonas temporales? How do you say time zones?
Zonas horarias.
Zonas horarias, okay. So time zones are stupid, and they should not exist. You know why? Because, friends, the Earth is flat. We know this, right? Science has been lying. The Earth is flat. No time zones. Someone actually sent me a message. Pedro sent me a message this morning. What? Are you a flat earther? No, the Earth is not flat, my friends. But time zones are stupid, and we'll find out why later on. But right now, I'm here, you're here. Let's catch up. Let's see what's going on in the world. So, how's it going, Natch? No more noise in your apartment?
No. Yes. There is.
They're still partying?
Every day. Yes.
Oh my God, jueves, man. It's jueves in there, yeah. Dude, I had an experience last night too. You know, I'm dog sitting Andrea, my co-host on the lunchtime show. I'm babysitting her dog, or dog sitting, as we'd say. And last night, normally I take her back to Andrea's house to sleep so she can sleep in her place. Because Andrea said to me, if you keep her at your house, she's going to cry all night and walk around and you won't sleep. And, I've had dogs all my life. I'm like, okay, Andrea. Okay, sweet summer child, don't you worry about me. And last night I decided Tina's going to stay with Uncle Rob. Tina wasn't a fan. She was not happy. I think she was running laps in the living room. So, she was getting some exercise until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And occasionally she would shout. Yeah, when I say occasionally, like every 30 seconds. Woo! 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 Till 3 a.m., dude. And I thought, shall I just get up and walk her home? I have neighbors. I'm not able to sleep. I have to be up in 2.5 hours. So what I ended up doing was going to sleep in the living room with her, so she had company. Oh, God, Nacho. Oh, my God. This dog that is the size of a mountain lion and that has the pulling force of a forklift truck. Un toro mecánico. Oh, dude, Nacho, come on. Come on, dude.
Wow, qué nivelazo.
Was running laps in my house till 2-3 o'clock in the morning and shouting. Until I went into the living room and slept on the sofa to keep her company. That's my life. That's my life right now. By the way, friends, it's 8:30 a.m. Central European Time. 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our friend Eric, who I've just seen pop up in the chat, joining us from the Philippines. Guess what? It's 2:30 in the afternoon. How are you doing, friends? Yeah, what are those numbers? Those are time zones. We'll talk about those later. Right now, we're going to get into some news. Okay. Let's do a follow-up on a story we did earlier on in the week, I believe, regarding... Natch, do you still have that sound effect that I sent you for the sniffing? No, you got rid of it. You didn't even keep it as a keepsake. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Remember that news story, though, right? About how the White House had found a bag of cocaine. The most secure building in the world found a bag of cocaine in the White House. Well, as a follow-up to that story, the Secret Service says that no fingerprints, no DNA, or leads from the cocaine found in the White House. They have no idea who it is. Didn't we provide evidence on the last show, Natch? I think we did. We played a 2-minute clip of Donald Trump going... A bag of cocaine was found in the White House West Wing. By the way, where is this from? Let's see. This news coming from news.yahoo.com. A bag of cocaine was found in the White House West Wing lobby during a routine sweep by U.S. Secret Service on the 2nd of July, 2023. Despite a thorough FBI crime lab analysis and surveillance footage, no fingerprints, DNA, or leads were identified. Meanwhile, you know, you had Donald Trump sweating profusely and sniffing through, I don't know, 4 years of his presidency. Just saying, guys. I don't know who it was. I'm just speculating. I'm not a member of the Secret Service. Let's see. The lobby where the drugs were found is frequently used by staff and tour groups. Okay, maybe Donald's off the hook. The investigation has so far been unable to single out a person of interest from the hundreds of individuals who passed through the area where the drugs were discovered. It's speculated that the drugs might have been left by one of many visitors over the weekend. Maybe it was a present for Joe, for Sleepy Joe Biden. Hey Joe, you seem to be having problems moving around, speaking. Take this. It's medicine. You'll be fine. Wouldn't it be great to see the next the next press conference by Joe Biden? He's just like, you know what we should do? we should fix the infrastructure. I'm going right now to fix a bridge. Come on, Joe. You can do it. Poor guy. You know that he's gonna run again as the president. Let the guy rest, will you? This guy, you know, he's in his 80s. He needs a PlayStation controller in his hands, a nice cup of coffee, a beer in the afternoon, have his slippers on, you know, read the newspaper, whatever 80-year-olds do. That's what he needs to be doing. Playing bingo. Leave him alone. Oh, the problem is there's not a decent candidate in the bunch on the Republican side, right? You've got Ron DeSantis, who, by all accounts, is a maniac, right? You know, bordering on fascism. Well, God, I shouldn't get political, guys. I shouldn't get political. But you've got Ron DeSantis. You've got Mike Pence is running. Who else? Obviously Donald Trump. On the Democrat side, I think Kamala Harris is running, but she's been very quiet. You've got RFK, who's virulently anti-vax. He's done the podcast circuit recently. You might have heard him on Joe Rogan or one of the others. He was on Lex Friedman on a bunch of podcasts. And, you know, I'm sorry, but the guy's a maniac. He's done a lot for the climate change movement, but he's doing nothing for the vaccine movement. I'm going to be honest. And I think I heard, well, I don't want to speculate. I heard some a weird news story about him saying that fluoride in water is turning people gay. That may be hyperbole, guys. I read it somewhere, but don't take that into account. And of course, Joe Biden, the poor man, just needs to retire and get some sleep. Let's see what people are saying. Good morning, MJ Symbol. Good morning, Vero. Eric, just got home, Rob, because me and my mum are busy this morning. But I'm eating some takeout paella. Oh, takeout paella. They would hang you in Spain if you ate. If you ate or distributed paella in a takeout form. It's think of paella in Spain more like a religion. If you really want to piss off a Spaniard, you say, you know how I like my paella? With English sausage in it? I think that's the most traditional, isn't it? Dude. They'll extradite you to whichever country you've come from. If you say something like that. Let's see. I'm eating some takeout paella from a restaurant as my own lunch. Nice. Dig in. Rob, you did true dog sitting. I did true dog sitting, yeah. I had to sleep on the sofa to keep her company. Rob, I think today's unpopular opinion is so weird, to be honest. I might laugh at this. Yeah, well, we'll see how weird it is when we get into it. Rob, I know it's difficult to keep track on the time zones of your worries, but it's not a good reason to abolish them. It is. Come on, for we radio presenters with an international audience. No more time zones, please. Let's see. Min is here. How are you doing, Min? Good morning. Chorizo paella, says Eric. Oh. You know the traditional paella, I've been told, is with rabbit, chicken, and what else, Natch? Rabbit, chicken, the traditional paella. I think it's rabbit, chicken, bacon, and eggs. That's a traditional paella, right, guys? Right, Spain? People are on the way to the studio to beat me up right now. Anyway, let's continue with the news. Here's an interesting one. AI-powered companion robots. Así que robots with AI, machine learning brains, could end loneliness in older adults, in old people. The rising demand for companion robots, primarily for elderly care, is predicted to push the global healthcare companion robot market to 11 billion by 2023. Yeah, this is a problem throughout the world. Like people having enough people willing to care for our elderly. What has happened to our culture? You know, a couple of 100 years ago, we used to revere our elders. Not so far back in our civilization's evolution, we revered our elders. What's happening now? Now we have to build robots to keep them company. I don't know. It sits a little weird with me. If you, mind you, maybe, if you were an old man, Natch, not the young, spry buck you are right now. If you were an old man, imagine like you were in your 80s, like Joe Biden. Would you want a companion robot to keep you company?
No.
No. That's why you have children.
No, not do that. No.
No, I'm joking. I've said that joke before and your reaction was exactly the same. I want to have kids so when I'm an old man, someone can take care of me. That's it. That's the main reason. No. That's not why you have children, but you would hope as you advance in years that they would be around you. You wouldn't have need for a companion robot. And plus, you know, imagine it's like an old couple together and one of them needs care. You know? I'm telling you now, if I'm old and single, my companion robot is not going to look like everyone else's companion robot. It's going to be the only robot that's wearing lipstick and underwear. I don't know. It just seems like a weird story. Are we in sci-fi territory where we're going to start ordering companion robots because we're all so lonely? Isn't this the story of Blade Runner? Are we living in Blade Runner right now? Is this the prequel to Blade Runner? It's just so odd. Let's see. Requena in Valencia is famous for its chorizo morcilla paella, says Pedro. Ooh, dropping some knowledge. Let's get a ProBoh approved there.
ProBoh approved.
There you go. You had a traditional Valencian paella, Eric. Valencia has rabbit indeed, says the bridge. Pedro. Oh no, we read that one. Vero, I suppose time zones exist because of the rotation of the sun. Yeah, could be. Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit. So you're all confused now. You're like, why is he talking like a flat earther? I've just been watching some YouTube videos, guys. Strap yourselves in. The earth isn't as round as you thought. Okay, and finally, in some upbeat news, some news that we can all end the week on in this news segment, happy about. Here we go. AIDS. SIDA, I believe you say it in Spanish. AIDS can be ended by 2030 with investments in prevention and treatment, says the UN. Wow. This is from Reuters. The UN are saying we can end the AIDS pandemic for good by 2030 with investments in prevention and treatment. Isn't that great news? Dude, remember in the 80s, Natch? You and I are a similar age. I'm a little older, even though I look like a lot older. Do you remember in the 80s where it was the thing that everyone was talking about? Around the time that Freddie Mercury died. Jeez Louise, and 20 years later, or 20-some years later, we're finally maybe reaching the end of this horrible autoimmune disease. God. The United Nations believes that AIDS can be eradicated by 2030 if there is sufficient political will to invest in prevention and treatment programs. And if non-discriminatory laws are adopted. As of 2022, approximately 39 million people globally are living with HIV, which can develop into AIDS if not treated. 39 million people. I would love to know the numbers of COVID. How many people have COVID right now in the world? Does anyone know? Anyone in the chat? So there you go. Yeah, the UN believes that with sufficient political will, we can eradicate AIDS in the world, which is great. For my generation, for people around my age, will remember the real explosion of the AIDS epidemic. And this is really great news. Really, really great news. We'll be driving. My vote is false for the Timezones, says Min. Come on. Says Pedro. Come on, Pedro. Come on. I'm going to convince you. I know it. I came over from England in the 80s, mid-AIDS boom. Yeah. Yeah, I remember all the adverts, the precautionary adverts when they were pushing safe sex and all that stuff. All that stuff. It warms my heart to know that we're making progress to the point where we could potentially eradicate this disease very, very, very soon. With a 57% reduction in new HIV cases in Eastern and Southern Africa since 2010. A 57% reduction. Wowee. Great news. Great job. All right. With all that said, I know you all want to hear this. Let's go to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
That's right, boys and girls. It's time for an unpopular opinion. Un pedo cerebral, un pedo mental. We did quite a serious one yesterday, so let's get into our slacks, our comfortable trousers, and our pajamas, and do something nice and easy today. Something obvious. Time zones, my friends. Time zones shouldn't exist, should they? Why do we need time zones? So time zones are stupid and shouldn't exist. What do you think people voted on Instagram, Natch?
False.
They did indeed. They said false. Oh, not as forward-thinking as you and I, the internet, Natch. 69% of them said false. 69%. Okay. You all know what was it? Zona horaria, you said. Time zone. So you all know what a time zone is. You hear me every day on the show say, hi, it's 8:30 a.m. Central European Time. It's 2:30 a.m. In Eastern Standard Time. 2:30 in the afternoon in the Philippines. Oh. Here's the question, guys. Why can't it be 8:30 everywhere? Why can't everyone adopt the European 24-hour clock? Where it doesn't stop at 12 and start counting at 1 again. It goes to 13, 14, 15. 15 being your 3 o'clock if you're listening from the United States. Why don't you adopt that that system of measuring time, which you already have. They call it the military time in the US. Our 24-hour clock. Why don't you adopt that? And it's 8:30 everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not denying the rotation of the Earth or the globe. I know. I'm not a flat earther. I'm just saying we don't all need to wake up at 9 a.m. 9 o'clock doesn't need to be sunny. It doesn't need to be. Okay, let's pick through this news or this topic. We'll go now to the ProBoh Show elves and find out what they have to say. So, agreeing with the statement that time zones should not exist. Without time zones, planning international meetings, calls, or events would become straightforward, as everyone would operate on the same time. This can be particularly beneficial in today's globalized world. I don't know how many international meetings you have. I have quite a few. And the idea of saying, okay, so we can meet today at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, which is, for you guys, -5. Why do we do it? There is no practical purpose for it. Let's continue. Traveling across time zones can cause confusion and inconvenience, potentially leading to missed flights, appointments, or meetings. A single global time could eliminate this issue. I can just see people out there listening right now, Natch, going, Illuminati! One world time zone! Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Travel across multiple time zones can cause jet lag, a temporary disorder that can cause fatigue and insomnia, among other systems. Without time zones, the issue of jet lag could be mitigated. I don't see how that could happen. You're still going to be tired. But whatever, thank you for playing, elves. Finally, time zones, daylight saving time adjustments, and leap seconds can complicate software design and lead to bugs. A unified time zone would make time handling in software simpler and more consistent. Let's go on to the disagreements, which I feel like most of you are disagreeing with me on this. So let's have a look. Matches local daylight hours. Time zones ensure that in most places the sun is highest in the sky around noon, and people are asleep during the darkest parts of the day. Without time zones, our daily routines could be out of sync with the natural daylight cycle. No! Just because you call the hour a different thing doesn't mean you can't go to bed at the same time. Are you guys not with the picture right now? It would take maybe a week to get used to, instead of, if you go to bed at 10 p.m., okay, maybe that is now 3 or 1,500 hours. You just have to call it a different thing. I mean, geez Louise, is it that much effort? Is it that much effort? Okay, let's continue. Local time allows regions to set their time in a way that makes the most sense for their particular geographical and cultural context. Let me tell you something. Spain's time zone makes no sense. Spain should be on Greenwich Mean Time. But it's not. It's on the same time as the rest of Europe, which makes no sense geographically where it's positioned. I believe, Natch, has that got something to do with the Franco era?
I think so.
Yeah. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. All over the world. Why can we not just have 24-hour clock? And we just, all of us are awake through different sections of that 24-hour. Why do we need to all wake up at the small hours and go to sleep at the big hours? Why is that? It makes no practical sense. But there is practical sense to abolishing it and making international business just a lot easier. The New York Stock Exchange opens at 9 a.m. Did you know that, Natch? 9 a.m. Or it could open... Well, what's 9 a.m. New York in Greenwich Mean Time? 9 a.m. New York to Greenwich Mean Time, to GMT. It could be 1,300 hours. The New York Stock Exchange opens at 1,700 hours. At 1,300 hours. It could be at 1,300 hours. And you could wake up at 1,200 hours in New York. Or 12. Is that really that complicated, guys? Do I need to spell this out for you? Why do you need I would be happy, by the way. You don't have to make Universal Standard Time or Greenwich Mean Time the standard. Say it in the States. I don't mind waking up at 1300 hours or whatever. I don't mind having to accustom myself to a new time zone. Just so long as when I get here and do the radio, I can say, it's 1200 hours, guys. Good morning, all over the world, wherever you're joining me from. Just makes no sense. Makes no sense. It would help us understand the news timelines more accurately. It would help in so many ways. I can see you've written a lot of chat there. I will get to it after the break, guys. We have to go to a very quick commercial break. I will post the poll in the chat. You will tell me, are time zones dumb? I think so. Let's go there. See you later, guys. Hey, guys. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My God, I'm having way too much fun today. Yeah, sorry if I'm a little tired and you can tell in my voice, guys. But I am having a whale of a time on today's show. Thank you. What did we cover today? Well, we looked at the White House cocaine scandal. I read a message there from MJ Symbol, who said, "Come on, it sounds like someone planted that as evidence." Could be. I don't know. I'm only joking when I say it's Donald Trump. Just so you know. It's just me trying to be funny. It probably wasn't him. They would have found it way earlier. Okay, anyway, let's continue. What did we cover in the show? So we went back to look at the White House cocaine story. We looked at AI robot companions potentially ending loneliness for old age citizens, for old age people. Don't know if it would. I don't know if it would actually reduce loneliness. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if an AI robot would reduce loneliness. I have been in relationships and lived with people, and at those points, been the most lonely I've ever been in my life. Loneliness is, in many cases, just a path you have to take to enjoy your own company. You have to get over the loneliness barrier to enjoy being alone. But I guess it's not just about that. For older age people, they need carers, they need help. So yeah, maybe it is the future. The market for these AI-powered companion robots is set to hit 11.7 billion by 2033. So obviously there's something that I'm not seeing there. But we'll follow this story through the weeks and see how it develops. Final piece of news we covered that the UN said the AIDS epidemic can finally be ended by 2030 with if there is enough significant or sufficient political will to do so, with investments in prevention and treatment. So that's great news, guys. Going into the weekend with some great news there. Then we went to today's unpopular opinion, which was time zones should not exist. I did get some weird messages, not only Pedro saying I'm a flat earther. I got other messages regarding this. Let's read a few right now. Eva says, I get the frustration. I understand your frustration, especially when coordinating global teams. A universal time would simplify things, but it would also need a massive societal shift. So I am torn. Would it need a massive societal shift? I don't think so. It's just getting used to, calling the exact same hours a different thing. That's it. It's not a massive societal shift as far as I'm concerned. Only positives. Let's see. Ricardo says, time zones are not stupid. They are tied to the Earth's rotation. It would be confusing if it's midnight and the sun's up. Ricardo, go home, you drunk. I appreciate your comment. Please comment more, but you're drunk right now. Why does it need to be called midnight? It's 00:00. That's the time, right? You call it midnight because, because I like the idea of the word midnight. It's a label. It doesn't mean anything. No, but midnight is the witching hour where the witches got shut up. Midnight is just a word, If you want for that 00:00 hour, instead of calling it midnight, call it daytime. Does that make it easy for you to understand? Come on, Ricardo. Get with the program. That said, I do understand the pain in dealing with time zones, says Ricardo. Thank you, Ricardo, for the message, and I'm sorry for being so rude. Let's see. Kendra, I hear you. Juggling different time zones in remote work can be a mess. Yet it's also cool that I can work when I want. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Okay, let's go to the chat and see what people were saying. I just saw Pedro say, I'm convinced, and I hope to God I've changed his mind here. This would feel so... It would feel good. I would feel clever and... because I think the argument today was silly, but whatever. Let's continue. So I see a lot of people saying false. Let's see. I guess it's because we wouldn't know if it's okay to give someone a call at any given time. You still don't know if it's okay to give someone a call at any given time. But at least, this is from Symbol, but at least you could say to that person, what time do you want me to call you? And they will say, call me at 1700 hours. And you wouldn't have to translate that into an arbitrary time that only exists in your country and everyone on that latitude. It's weird. It's weird that we can't have a global time. We all live on the same damn planet. What are we talking about? What's going on? Anyway, let's continue. I sound a lot more angry about this issue than I actually am. It's mostly for comedic effect. Okay, let's see. The bridge. That would explain my dodgy typing. Yeah, the bridge is joining us from her bed today. Enjoy a nice lie-in, bridge. You've earned it. Time zones become stupid. For me, I don't call it stupid because I'm aware of knowing international time zones. These must still exist. Philippines, for example, shares time with Hong Kong because of the past law in 2012. That's from Eric. MJ Symbol, daylight time. How many attendees would there be in a meeting at the same time if there's no daylight for some and they need to stop? I'm not saying reschedule meetings. I'm just saying the label of the time should be the same all over the world. Okay? I'm not saying people have to be awake at midnight. I want to be clear on that. You still go to bed when it's dark. You still wake up when it's light. It's just the names of those times would be synchronized all over the world. Am I explaining this badly, Natch? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I find it difficult to be sincere.
Really?
To understand the benefits.
Simply in organizing things across the world.
Yeah, but you are saying, no, we quedamos a 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they maybe...
No.
Maybe night in other countries.
Okay. Oh, here we go now. Guys, strap yourselves in. So let's say the world, right, follows daylight standard time. Greenwich Mean Time. The same time as the UK. The time it should be here in Spain, FYI. Okay. At 9 a.m., so right now, 9 a.m. Central European time. It's 3 in the morning over there in New York. Or it could be 0900 hours and people sleep until 1300 hours. And that's where their day begins. You got a meeting with someone in New York? Okay, call me at 1700 hours. On my phone, it will still say 1700 hours. And I can, I'd have to do any calculation. Well, what time is that for me? 1700 hours is, It's going to be 5 in the afternoon for me because I'm in Greenwich Mean Time. It just makes everything easier. I'm not saying people have to be awake at nighttime. I don't want you to live like vampires. I'm just saying we need to label all the hours the same thing all over the world. Why? Because we live on the same planet. Let's start thinking globally, people. This is 2023. Sorry, I'm enjoying the to and fro of this argument way too much. Let's continue. Mr. Cruzando, I do agree. No more multi-time zones. I appreciate you, Mr. Cruzando. Mr. Cruzando gets it, Natch. He gets it. If these are stupid and sometimes shouldn't exist, like I said earlier, it's weird and makes no sense at all, says Eric. The bridge. Oh, and of course, Rob, I suppose everybody else would need to adhere to GMT or Universal Standard Time. Same thing. I don't care. I don't care if I have to call my morning 1,700 hours. I don't care, because I'll still be awake the same amount of hours during the same time period. It'll just be unified around the world, those times. You know what I mean? I don't understand what the problem is. It's currently 3 a.m. in New York, right? Currently 3 a.m. in New York. 3 in the afternoon for what's his name? For Eric. Here it's 9 a.m. or 9:00. It could be that all over the world. Or 9:00. But you know, for Eric, 09 is an early afternoon, and 09 in New York is the middle of the night. Doesn't matter, it's just a label. But we'd all have the same labels. You know? Oh no, when the sun comes up, I need it to be 9 o'clock. I need to call 00:00. I need to call it midnight. You fear change. Your fear of change is holding us back as a society, Natch. Oh dear. Anyway, let's continue. I'm enjoying it too much. I need to calm down. Okay, here we go. Mr. Cruzando, looks like Franco changed the Spain time zone to match the German one. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yeah. Are we on fire again, Rob? Says Eric. Yes, Eric, I'm on fire. I've drunk my third coffee and I'm I'm ready to burn some daylight. How are you doing, Min? No worries if you haven't been able to talk much. Not a problem. Good morning, Chris Valrol. I still have no confirmation from Pedro whether I changed his mind or not. If the problem is that the number might be misleading, we can name them as fruits. Exactly. We could call it orange o'clock right now. An orange o'clock for me is the morning. For Eric, it's the early afternoon. An orange o'clock in the US is the middle of the night. Doesn't matter. We call it something else. We just don't need these different time zones. I've changed Pedro's mind, Natch. I'm going to take that as a personal victory. And that's my first piece of good news for the weekend. The only way a global time works is if everybody is awake at the same hours. No, I don't agree with that. We could call them arbitrary things. We could name them after letters. It doesn't matter. The label is indifferent. The fact is that we need to share the same label globally to make our global business interactions easier. Because, you know, I love business. That's me. I'm uber capitalist. Anyway, we have to remember the difference in daylight anyways. Time zones reflect it and make it easier to understand what time of day another place is experiencing. Oh, God. Oh, it's 9 a.m. in New York, so they're experiencing the sunshine. Do I really need to know if they're experiencing the sunshine or not? If I'm setting up a meeting. Oh, it's sunny for them now. Oh, they'll be having lunch at this time. No, screw them. It's the meeting's at orange o'clock. You'll be there or you won't. Let's continue. I voted we don't need time zones, but man, you're making me change my mind. Great points. Oh, thank you, Coralism. Thank you. Finally getting there, Natch. Finally getting there. I'm sorry, but hours are related to the sun's position. You can create another time measure as in Star Trek and similar, says Rafelka. Thank you, Rafelka. Yeah, it's orange o'clock. I like Pedro's idea. We don't need to number them. We can call them letters. Organizing things across the world becomes much more difficult, though. No, it doesn't. It becomes easier. No more translating times. Let's see. I have to move quickly through this. We're running out of time. Rob, I understand you mean the hour number is just that. the way we call it. But Min's point is that 12, for example, should mark the middle of the day everywhere. It makes a lot of sense. Why? Why does 12 need to mark the middle of the day everywhere? Why can't orange o'clock for me mark 12 and orange o'clock for Pepe in New York mark first thing in the morning, and for Eric in the Philippines mark first thing in the evening? Why? It doesn't matter. 12 does not internationally need to mean the same thing. What is much more important, that we're all synchronized at the same hours. Am I selling you on this, guys? Rob likes playing the devil's advocate. I do, Min, that's correct. Min knows me well, so he doesn't get upset with me. Urs, you sound quite intolerant today. You don't have to go against the tide in everything, but this arguing is pointless. Sorry to say that. Oh, God. Don't get upset with me, Urs. That was from Urs. I'm only joking around. Okay, so should we see the results, Natch? So I made the statement that time zones are stupid and should not exist. Let's get a drum roll. It was 50-50. Well done, guys. All right, I know when I'm beaten. You guys have beaten me. And I get it. That midnight being midnight all over the world, it obviously has quite a lot of value. It obviously does. And the fact that, if it's 5 a.m. in New York, you shouldn't call them. It's too early. They're in bed. I get that. But there are a few kind of time anomalies like daylight saving time and all these things that we hate that could be solved if we had a universal time all across the world. Like a planetary clock. I've often thought a planetary clock would be so useful for organizing meetings. I think that's the idea with universal standard time, but most people don't use it, universal standard time. But it would be great. It's certainly in terms of business to be able to understand or to use have a global reference for hours. For what I'm mentioning, okay, well, we'll have the meeting at 8 universal standard time. Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, I understand. You guys have sold me. Your points were good. What can I say? And Urs, don't take it personally, my dude. I'm an idiot. You all know this. I'm the chief idiot here. If anyone's going to be an idiot, it's going to be me. All right, guys, let's go to today's 100 Humans. Oh, friends, it was a long walk to work across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans. And I asked them a question. Today's question was, why might you have to stop the car during a long ride? ¿Por qué puede tener que parar el coche durante un viaje largo? Largo or larga? Largo, right?
Largo.
Oh, dude. I'm on fire. Today. Let's see. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the top 7 answers right here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. I think Urs hates me now, Natch. I think he's taken my my bullheadedness for intolerance. Okay, we're getting lots of answers coming up in the chat. What do you think, Natch?
To put in gasoline?
To put in gasoline, to get gas. Pedro says gas as well. Okay, gas there, to get gas. Well done, it's there, guys. Woo! It's there, it's the second most popular answer, with 18 of 100 humans saying to get gas. Very good. Okay. I was so... you know what it is, Natch? I was so tolerant and open-minded yesterday. I just wanted to be an asshole today. And mission accepted. Feels great. Feels great. All the tears, they're delicious. So feeling so powerful right now. Okay, Coralism says to use the bathroom. To use the bathroom. So does the bridge. Anyone else say that? Okay, so Coralism and the bridge say to use the bathroom. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Well done, Coralism. Well done, Bridge. You're killing it. Bridge. By the way, guys, if you missed yesterday's show, it was an absolutely fascinating discussion about religion. A really touchy subject. A subject I couldn't be as animated and wacky as I was today. We took it really seriously, and I'm really, really proud of the audience that participated yesterday. It was a great show, so if you missed it, do check it out. Okay, so to use the bathroom, number 1, well done, Coralism, well done, Bridge. Killing it. All right, let's continue. To rest, says Nuriyaptam. To rest. You need some rest. Is it there? Yes, it is. Nuriyaptam, well done. Well done. It's the 5th most popular answer, with 7 of 100 humans saying need to rest. Chris Valroll, to eat. To eat. A comer. To eat. It's there. Well done. Oh, wow, guys, you're on fire. No waste here. No waste. Everyone just knocking it out of the park. You guys are on fire. Rafelka also said to rest. Well, to sleep, he says, but same thing. Well done. Okay. To grab a snack, says Pedro. To grab a snack. You know, you're hungry. You need to eat. But is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. 3rd most popular. Okay, you guys have 1, 2, 3 more to get. Woo! 3 more to get. Okay, let's see. So to sleep, to have a rest, said Mr. Cruzando. To get a wink, to get 40 winks, says the Bridge. Give her a nivelazo. Give her a nivelazo, man.
Vaya nivelazo.
40 winks, to get some sleep. Some really colloquial British language. Love it. Okay, what else? Where are we? To pee, we had. Urs says, to pee, I don't hate you, I really love you. Urs, I love you too, man. You're the best. And thanks for putting up with me today. I needed to be a bit silly today after yesterday's seriousness. So you can see a sparkle in Rob's eyes when he gets to argue an unpopular point. It even outshines his head at points. Min gets a ProBoh approved. Come on.
ProBoh approved.
It's not that I like you getting angry with me. It's like I like pretending to be an ass. And I do it just for comic effect. Do understand, guys, that I do appreciate all your opinions. I really do. You know this if you know me. Anyway, let's continue on. Because your child feels dizzy and needs to throw up. We call that car sickness. That's coralism. Car sickness. Is car sickness there? Yes, it is. Well done. Being car sick. Very good. Let's see. Parada técnica. Pee, gas, eat. Says Vero. Very good. Let's see. To argue with your children or get them out. Says Rafelka. You know what? I'm going to give him this. Yeah, absolutely. The 100 Humans says the children are fighting. They said that 4 people said, because, you know, you need to stop because the kids are fighting. So well done, well done. Okay, next one. A flat tire. It's there, well done. Not just a flat tire, car trouble. Trouble with your car. Guys, you've done it with no clues. Woo. Well done, jeez. You guys are on fire today because the car is broken, says Nuriyat. If I was a man having a family and had to stop for a moment, I'd always hate when the kids do this on a long journey. Motion sickness. Yeah, motion sickness is a thing. To set the clock to Universal Standard Time, says Urs. The only reason. That's the number 1 answer. All right, my friends. Well done. You did it. Let's very, very quickly go through the list. Okay, in position number 7. When I asked, why might you have to stop the car on a long journey? In position number 7 was the kids are fighting. In position number 6 was car sickness. Car sickness. In position number 5 was needing rest. I need to get 40 winks, as the bridge said. Need to rest. In position number 4 was car trouble. Flat tire, you know, smoke coming from the radiator. Car trouble. In position number 3 was to eat. To eat. In position number 2 to get gas, to fill up your gas, to fill up your petrol. Poner gasolina. Llenar el tanque. Oh, Natch, yeah, I saw.
Nivelazo.
That was a convincing nod. I knew I got it. I knew I hit a nerve there. In position number 1 was use the bathroom. Well done. Well done, Coralism. Well done, Bridge. You are killing it. Rob, thank you. This is brilliant today. Guys, you are the ones that make it brilliant. I'm just here as a conduit to your opinions and just try and get you talking and animated. All right, guys, let's go to complete the news.
Complete the news.
Okay, we have to be really quick on this one. So we're going to do the Ted Cruz news because I think it's funnier. Ted Cruz is, I think, the governor of Texas still. The Republican governor of Texas. So Ted Cruz proposes a law, propone una ley that would allow citizens que permitiría. Oof, the pronunciation for that gets stuck on my tongue. That would allow citizens, ciudadanos, to know if, saber si, their blank, su blank, les espía, was spying on them. Ted Cruz proposes a law that would allow citizens to know if their blank is spying on them. But what? Is it A, their dishwasher, B, their washing machine, or C, their air fryer? Lavavajillas, dishwasher. A. B, washing machine, lavadora. Or C, air fryer, friadora de aire. Oh, killing it. Come on, guys, let's see.
Nivelazo.
I'm seeing a lot of C's, a few B's. What do you think, Natch?
Washing machine.
Think B. It's a tie between B and C. Mr. Cruzando breaks the tie. C is what the chat is saying. Let's get a drum roll, Natch. It is letter C. It is the air fryer. Well done, guys. Wow. What an amazing audience today. You've done great work. Guys, I hope to see you all again on Monday. Have an amazing weekend. And guys, set that watch to Universal Time Zone. What are you doing? Guys, so many things you could have been doing today, but instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. Thank you so much. See you next time.